Every day, you're faced with these huge, life-altering decisions. Which job, who to partner with, where to live.
Right. Or even just whether to quit something you've worked on for years.
And we usually think of these as, purely emotional. It's a gut feeling, or maybe just luck.
But the sources we're driving into today suggest something else entirely. They look at computer science and find these patterns in how we make choices.
So your life is, in a way, programmable. Not in a robotic sense, but in a way that makes things easier.
Exactly. Our mission here is to pull out the most practical algorithms, these structured rules that can help cut down on that feeling of being overwhelmed.
To make calmer, more confident decisions.
That's the goal.
Okay, so let's jump in with the most famous one. People call it the 37% rule.
The optimal stopping strategy, yeah.
This is for when you're searching for something high stakes. A house, a job candidate, maybe even a partner. How do you know when to stop looking and just commit?
Well, that's the core problem, isn't it? You have imperfect information. You see options one by one, and if you say no, that option might be gone forever.
So what does the algorithm say? How does the 37% rule actually work?
It's surprisingly simple. First, you set a search window. Let's say it's 10 interviews or maybe a few months of looking at apartments.
Okay.
For the first 37% of that time, you do nothing but look. You don't make any offers. You don't commit.
You're just gathering data.
You're setting a baseline. You're learning what good even looks like in this particular search. You are calibrating your expectations.
And then what? After that first 37% is over.
Then the rule changes. You have to pick the very next option that is better than anything you saw in that first 37%.
Wow. Not the perfect one, just the first one that beats your baseline.
Exactly. It stops you from choosing too early out of fear, but it also stops you from waiting forever for some impossible ideal. It gives you a clear instruction.
It gives you permission to make a good enough choice and move on.
Right. And that structure is powerful. But this leads to another big dilemma we face, which is about time on a much bigger scale. The explore versus exploit problem.
Yes. Should you stick with what you know works, your favorite restaurant, your current career, or should you try something new?
The algorithm for this is, again, beautifully simple, and it's tied directly to your timeline.
The more time you have left, the more you should explore.
Yes. If you're young, your job is to explore. Try new things, new industries. Even if you fail, the cost is low because you have decades to recover and learn.
But if you have less time, say you're nearing retirement, the algorithm says you should exploit.
You should focus on stability. Maximize the returns on what you already know works. It reduces so much of the guilt and confusion we feel about our career moves.
It's about matching your strategy to your stage in life.
Yeah.
It's not a personal failure to want stability later on.
It's actually the optimal strategy.
And what about when those choices go wrong? Because, they will.
Well, that's the final key idea, and it's a huge pressure relief. Failure isn't a bug in the system. It's a feature.
It's a feature. Computers crash and restart. The best systems aren't the ones that never fail. They're the ones that recover fast.
So you don't need perfect decisions. You just need adaptive ones.
You need a system to recover. And it's simple. Try something, see what happens, adjust your approach.
Try, evaluate, adjust. It's an iteration cycle.
That's it. So this isn't about living like a machine at all.
No, it's about understanding the patterns behind uncertainty so you can navigate life with more intention and less chaos.
You use these frameworks to reduce that stress, that regret, and just gain clarity.
So here's a final thought for you to take away from this deep dive. We've talked about using algorithms to make better decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But what if the best algorithm is one of subtraction? What if half the small decisions you stress over what to wear, what to eat, which tiny task to do first, just don't matter?
Deleting the decision altogether.
Exactly. Where could you redirect all that wasted mental energy if you simply chose to ignore those decisions? Starting today.